One of the big advantages of list comprehension is that they allow developers to write less code that is easier to understand. Without any further ado, let's start that how Python list comprehension work. Hello everyone, welcome to the linuxhint YouTube channel. In today's video, we are going to talk about Python list comprehension. In Python, a list is a data structure which is an ordered sequence of elements. Each element or value that is inside of a list is called an item. You will be familiar with the list if you have ever worked in any high-level programming language. In many languages, we spend more of the time in creating a list and then insert item to the list one by one or by using for loop. So declaring the empty list and adding the items through for loops could be tedious and time consuming. But Python gives the list comprehension in which we can construct a list in single line of code. The list is created and data is inserted in the list in a single line. One of the big advantages of list comprehension is that they allow developers to write less code that is easier to understand. Without any further ado, let's start that how Python list comprehension work. So first of all, let's see that how list actually works. So declare a list here and enter numbers. Enter the numbers that whatever you want and now print that list. Run the program and you can see that it has printed the list. Sometimes you might try to multiply the items of the list by 2 in this way. But in this way we cannot multiply each item by 2 because it concatenates the list 2 times. As we can see in the Python console that it has printed the list items 2 times. Now let's multiply each item by 2 and store it into another list by using the for loop. So declare a new list here and let me name it double. And declare a for loop here for item in list. And the item is the variable here and it could be like X or Y or something that whatever you want to declare. Double dot append item multiply by 2 and let me print this here double. So what it will do, it will actually multiply the each item of the list by 2 and then it will store it to the list that is the double list. And the append method allows us to add items in the list without overwriting the previous item. So now let's run it and see that what we get. Now you can see that it has actually multiplied the each item of the list by 2 and then it has stored it into the newly created list that is the double list. Now let's see that how we can get rid of this for loop and do the same task in a single line by using the list comprehension. It will bring exactly the same result with less and easy to use code. Now define the new list here just below this existing list. Double item multiply by 2 for item in list. Item is a variable here and it could be either X or anything. So let's run it. You can see that we have got exactly the same result as we got by using the for loop, but now we have did it by using the list comprehensions. So whenever you use list comprehension, you always start your list comprehension with expression or the operation that you want to perform. And here we are multiplying each item by 2, so it means that we are performing some operation. After that we add the for loop and sometime if condition, and we will have a look on this in a few minutes that how we can use if condition in the list comprehension. Let's see a couple of more examples about list comprehension. Let me declare a new list which is basically the numbers list. Numbers is equal to X for X in range 100. This example will create a list with 100 integers, and let's print this list. And let me comment this code because we do not need it anymore. Now run it, and you can see that it has printed 100 integers in the list. If we want to print the even numbers from the first 100 integers, then we can simply add the if condition here, like if x modulus 2 is equal to 0. You can simply write the if condition after the for loop, and this if condition will divide the number with 2, and if the remainder is equal to 0, then it will consider this number an even number and it will print it. So let's run this program. And you can see that this time it has only printed the numbers which are even. Similarly, we can add multiple if conditions in the list comprehension. Like if you only want to compute the numbers that are less than 100 and which are divisible 2 and 5, then we can do it in this way. So add another if condition here, if x 5 is equal to 0. And you can see that both if conditions are working now in the list comprehension, and it has only printed the numbers that are divisible by 2 and the divisible by 5. So in this way we can have multiple if conditions in the list comprehension. Now let's see another example and create a new list, and this time it will be the students list, and the student list will contain 3 dictionaries as item. Each dictionary contains 2 keys as name and age. The first key is name and the second key is age. So the task is to extract the name of the students, and we again use a list comprehension without manipulating the original list. Declare a new list here which is the students name list, and write here student name for student in students. We have defined the expression here that we want to extract the student names, and from where we want to extract it from the existing list, that is the students list. So now let's run this. So print this list, students name. So now let's run it and see that what we get. And you can see that it has extracted the names of the students and it has printed the names here. Similarly, you can extract the age. So just remove this name variable here and write age and run this. And yes, you can see that this time it has extracted the age and it has printed it. If we want to extract the name of a particular student whose age is greater than 25, so we can add if condition here, like if student age is greater than 25. When we will run this program, it will only print the name of that particular student whose age is greater than 25. So let's run it and check. And yes, it has printed Ben because Ben's age is greater than 25, which is actually 27. Now let me change this if condition and try to extract that student whose age is like greater than 20 and his name is Mark. So for this purpose we will add a new if condition here and we will write student name is equal to Mark. And you can see that it has extracted that student whose name is Mark and his age is greater than 20. We can compute the square of each individual item in the list by using the list comprehension. So let's see that how we can do that. Let me just declare a new list here, that is square list, and write here x for x in list. So now let's print it and see that what we get. Square list. And now let's run it. And yes, it has printed the square of each individual item here in the console. And in Python, when we compute the square of any item, so we just put double steric here. We can also perform some mathematical task by using the list comprehension, like we can compute the Cartesian product. So suppose we have two lists. List A contains the odd numbers 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. And list B contains the even numbers 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and similarly 12. Make a new list here which is a Cartesian product list. And write here A, B, for A in A, for B in B. Let's run it. Print this list Cartesian product. So now let's run it. You can see that the list contains all the possible pairs that we actually do while computing the Cartesian product. And similarly we can have the third list, and which contains the numbers 7, 8, 9, 1, 2. So write C here, which will basically the third variable, and add another for loop here which is for C in C. So let's run it. Now you can see that we are working with the three lists while computing the Cartesian product. I hope you found this video useful for learning Python list comprehensions. So keep following us on the linuxhint YouTube channel and do not forget to subscribe it for more useful videos. Thank you.